terminated. Network attached.
Welcome to Jerry's Tech Show. My TNAS terminated network attached storage. Well, network attached storage mod. For video editing for this channel and plex and data storage with using Unraid for the first time.
Let's get started.
First off, we have the Kingwin KF255BK 2.5/ or 3.5 hard drive SSD internal trayless hot swap rack. And I have 8 of them. And what I also like about these is it has its own power and access and an on and off switch. So what I got here is the old solid state drive I got. So you can just go ahead and put it all in there just like that. And then also got an old 2 terabyte hard drive, which you can just go ahead and like that. So I got a refurbished 12 terabyte at Amazon. Got pretty good reviews, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a try. That's going to be our primary. So we have a 2 terabyte, another 2 terabyte, got a 1 terabyte, got another 1 terabyte, and then I got a 500 gig.
Went with a Kingston 2 terabyte M.2.
Went with 16 gigs of DDR4 memory. And for this build, I just decided to get a Ryzen 3 processor. It's 4 cores, 8 threads, and it's just great for what I want to do. It's just going to be a file storage. Got is a EVGA 650 GT, Asus Prime B450, small micro motherboard. Out the holes for the motherboard, so now I'm going to just drill the hole.
So my CPU doesn't have a video output. So what I got here is an old ATI X1300 PCI Express. Picked it up for $5. So we're going to stick that in here. And then what I got now is a 2.5 gigabit network adapter, which my motherboard only has the 1 gigabit, which I can parallel it later. So the 2.5. So I got a 2.5, which we're going to use. Now I have a 4 port 3.0 SATA PCI Express. It's PCI Express SATA 3.0 card, which this is gonna be really cool. So I can have all the hard drives here. So I have that, and it works good in Linux because I have I'm using Unraid, which is based on the Linux kernel. So this card really works good for it.
Wanted to give you an update that the 4-port SATA 3 host controller card is based on the AS Media controller chipset. The Marvel chipset does not work very well with Unraid. So here's the Unraid website, and you just download it on a thumb drive, and your computer boots off a thumb drive. 30-day trial. I bought it after my 30 days for $89, and then you just set it up, log in through a web browser, and set up your drives. Here's information about your CPU, motherboard, and statistics. Never used this program before. Trial and error, and it's really slow all over the place without cache. So I enabled cache. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this file and move it over to my plex. Look how fast that is. 112, 113, 14 megabytes. And it's using the cache SSD. Yeah, it kind of dropped off at the end here. About 71 megabytes a second or so. It's still not bad. But my Plex is running too on the network, so it could be that too. Which I've seen a Plex server pull up to like 40 megabytes a second off of it. And I'm only getting about max speed from that network card about 118 megabytes, about 113 I've seen megabytes a second, so it's still much, much better than what it did when I first started this.
Alright, just want to give you guys an update here. Here are my used SSD drives. 1 terabyte, and they run in parallel. So it's parity, so it's backup. So when I go ahead and transfer files onto here, well, to speed it up, you have cache drives, and these are cache drives. So when I take a file and put it on here, then it backs up automatically to this one, and then it just sits there until there's a program, a scheduler, that takes the files and automatically just runs it across the array of hard drives. And you always want to back up, especially for critical files, things like that. So what I want to do is I go ahead and take the files, put it on here, then it automatically moves it. Well, if it was in the process of moving it or something like that, and if I didn't have this and just this, then it'd go out and you'd lose everything. So I got a backup of per cache drive, which the max read speed is like 500 megabytes a second. And then, and now what we're gonna do is I got 8.5 terabytes right now with the two terabyte
M.2 drive. Well, now I picked up this was pretty cheap. I picked up a 2 terabyte SSD, which I'm going to add to it, which we're going to put over here. Make sure I get it in there right. Here we go. Now we're going to log in. Alright, so we got this, this. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drives. Now we add that, which is another one. Alright, so we're going to add it to the pool. Yeah, these are the Samsung 1 terabyte for my cache, and these are pretty old. I mean, if you look at it, you go to the capable, go to the select, oops. The overall, it passed. Right here, error count, 38. Just old age, pre-fail. Which is fine. So this is how we're going to make our array 2 terabytes bigger. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on start. So we assign that. So that shows up. Oh, total size, 2 terabyte. Less than 1 minute. 391 megabytes a second. That spends time in 1 hour and 26 minutes. So now it's go ahead and it's rebuilding it. Yeah, it takes a while. Now that it's shut down, I got a Seagate 16 terabyte. It was $100 off over the holidays. So I picked this up from Amazon. You got to kind of watch out for Amazon retailers. But I was able to go to their website and I got a 5-year warranty on this. So this is going to go parallel with my 12 terabyte refurbished. So, but now what we're going to do is we're going to hook this up. So we put it in here and put this one in here. So there we go. Now I'm going to fire it up and we're going to just clear it, and then it's going to automatically rebuild it. So right now I only have a 10.5 terabyte, which I can go up to 12 terabyte. And it's a hit and miss with to have errors. Kind of got to watch out for errors and stuff. But I was able to use my old hard drives. I had 2. This is pretty much an updated. I tried it out, an update. So before I got all the videos out, when I started out, I actually had these 2 drives. They're all 1 terabyte, and they're actually bad. I have to actually get rid of them. They're no good. But I got to use them for about 2 weeks, and then they were toast. So that's why I had to go out, and I actually went out and bought a few more hard drives, because these two actually went out. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the video and we're going to power it up, and I'll show you how to add another one. So now we got our array here. Now all we have to do is add the 16 terabyte. Interesting with this is these hot swappable drives. If you look at the manual, it says it only can read up to 16 terabytes. So it's kind of interesting that these actually work. And they're hot swappable drives, but
I just wanted it to be easy access since I'm messing with used hard drives and stuff. Like if I just need to swap it out real fast instead of taking it all apart, I kind of like this open, and then it's open air too, so heat just rises. And I could put an enclosure here if I wanted to, but then I'd have to have some fans, and I might have some fans. Things do kind of heat up when I'm actually heavy using it, but then it all turns. The temps go down really fast, and it's down in the basement, so it's nice and cool down here anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add this now. So I'm going to add it, and so we're going to start the array, and it says all existing will be overridden, which is fine because it's all empty anyway. If you recycle hard drives and stuff, you want to make sure that you have all your stuff off of it, because this is going to format it. So we're just going to go ahead and start, and then in the start we'll start the sync and data rebuild. So it'll start syncing, parity sync. So there it is. Alright, Parity 2 is being reconstructed and is available for normal use. Now I can go ahead and do whatever I want, but it's going to rebuild it now. So it's going to take 1 day and 11 hours, and that's it, give or take if that goes down slower or faster. So it's going to go ahead and start rebuilding it, and within a day it'll be done. I still only have 10 terabytes here free. I got 10.5 terabytes, and I got 4 terabyte unused and free. Also, with Unraid, you also have a manual here, which it just loads up the manual and it tells you even more about it. I just did some YouTube videos, and I wanted to try it, and so it gives you a 30-day notice before you have to buy it. So far, I really like this build so far. It's came a long way for the last few months, and that's what I've been busy. I've been busy working on this and building it up and messing around with it. Also, you can have apps and VMs, and there's just so many things. Don't want to run plex on this because of my processor, and my video card isn't capable, and my processor is kind of low end. I just wanted this to be file storage, which my Streambox PC is the one that runs Plex and OBS for streaming, and I can transfer it, and I use this for just files. So my Streambox does all the heavy lifting and streaming it out throughout the house, and then with my family and stuff outside the house. So Parity 2, before it's rebuilding the data, so right now it's invalid. It's healthy. My parities, error, and then this is my 500 gig hard drive. My Western Digital. It's still rocking and rolling, so I'm going to use it until it crashes. With your cache drive. I was watching the YouTube videos with this Unraid and stuff, and how they were using cache. Well, the problem that I ran into is if you use too small of a cache drive, it fills up, and then you can't write more stuff to it. So you have to be able to determine how much you're going to drop down on it at one time, because then it automatically moves it from the cache drive and onto your array, which is the bunch of the your mesh of hard drives. So I started out with a smaller one, and I ran into a problem of it filling up. So I actually went with a terabyte, and that's enough data that I can move. Now, like if you want to do something, if you're going to be moving a lot more files, you might have to make your cache drive a lot bigger. Let me see here. So scheduler. So that's what I'm talking about here is mover. I put it on daily, and at 2 p.m. it moves, auto moves, and then I have a log too. So I can move it to the array. Now, the cache drive, I just use it for writing because if you noticed with some of my videos with this build, the write is really, really slow without cache enabled. So, yeah, so it's really, really slow. So for writing, so I use the cache drive to make it a lot faster. Like I said, it fills up fast. So you can do it like daily. You can do it daily, hourly, weekly, monthly. And I just have it set on daily where it automatically moves it. And then trim, SSD trim, they have that in there first. You always want that with your solid state drive as trim. And I have it set to weekly and on Sunday. And then so parity check, which checks your backup drive. It was set to weekly, but I thought that was a little excessive because I don't really. When I first populated the drive, I used it a lot, but then as it filled up and it's stable now, I have all my files on there and everything now. Now I have it set where it just updates it monthly now, which you can set it up for stable, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, custom, and I just have it set to monthly. So it's all done, and it took 1 day and 5 hours and 49 minutes. Average speed is 149.7, and no errors. Thanks for watching. Next time we're going to be modding it, so stay tuned.